All right, I'm Mike Morano reporting for DamonWildcats.com and joined right now by our head men's and women's cross-country coach, Paul Legno. And Coach, interesting weekend for your two teams. I'm not sure I've ever seen so many PRs set in one race. As we'll start with the men. The men finished 11th out of 18 competing teams at the Mike Woods Invitational this past Saturday, September 30th at Letchworth State Park, and all 5-year scorers with career best times in the race for the men.
Yeah, we're obviously really pleased with the results from this weekend. It was nice to finally get some cool weather. I think that was a big piece of why we ran fast. You know, everyone ran fast. It was a great meet. They do a great job with that course. It's flat, it's fast, not a lot of sharp turns, so you can kind of really get into a groove and get rolling out there. It was a fantastic performance for us. We're pretty happy with where we placed as a team, a little bit ahead of where we've been in the past. Our guys up front, Josh and Luke, finally put together a really solid performance. Josh Bodner had a huge PR, running in the 2640s is going to, put him up there in the conference. And Luke was only 10 seconds behind him. So overall, really pleased with those guys. Always nice for them to get some, get a PR going into a break where we get to go train hard and, get after it here in a couple weeks.
I guess should come as no surprise, because every time you and I have sat down for one of these talks and talk about the men's team, it's been talking about Josh and talking about Lucas, and how much you were expecting out of them this season. Josh Bodner and Lucas Canales, they go sub 27 minutes for the first time in their careers in this race. One guy I do want to ask you about that maybe is a little bit unheralded for you is Timothy Poole. Second straight week that Tim has set a PR.
Yeah, Tim's putting together a really solid campaign. He's been a good piece for us for the past 3 years, but he's really been more of a developmental guy over the past 2 years, and now he's finally at the point where he's really a contributing member. We expect him, to be our number 3 guy, and I think he's going to continue to close that gap on Josh and Lucas, and that'll give us a really nice, strong 3 up front. For him to break 28 minutes the week after he broke 29 minutes for the first time was just a great effort, from him.
And then 2-year freshmen Mike Swiniarski and Cale Silvestri were the others that set PRs for the men. Switching over to the women finished 8th out of 15. You raced 11 runners in the race, and 9 of them set PRs.
Yeah, a big piece of that is because for most of them it was only their second 6K, but still we'll take the positive spin from that. And one of the ladies who didn't run a PR was Amy Trabert, who in her second race is already within 20 seconds of her fastest time ever. So overall, we were really pleased with it. A nice group of freshman ladies once again up in that top 5. And they really just went out and competed much better than we have thus far in the season. I think the hot weather when we were at Roberts kind of got in their head a little bit. And, that was really our first experience in, one of the bigger fields. Really nice performance for them. And I think, this is kind of going to be a turning point for them. And they're finally getting comfortable with that 6K distance, which they need to do at the regional meet.
I had to bring a pad in here so I could read them all off. Tara Peaty, Savannah Warner, Mackenzie Tubbs, Shania Levesque, who's a sophomore, Ashley Duza, Emily Bradley, who's a junior, Morgan Munger is a redshirt freshman, and Alicia Panapinto is a sophomore. Those were all your PR people on the women's side, and obviously some of them didn't figure in the scoring. But I gotta feel like for you as a coach, it's good to see those girls at the back end of the lineup have success as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the more depth we have, the more it's going to help us. That's been one of our issues in the past is we've been really strong up front with the Mackenzie Donahues and the Hannah Rices and A.B. Traberts of the world, but we've never had great depth at the 4 through 7 position. So this year we have a nice pool of 11 girls, and I think most of them are capable of being in that top 7. So now we got a couple weeks to train really hard and figure out who our top 7 are going to be going into the postseason.
Just looking ahead, no competition this week. I think probably a much-needed break for the teams having raced in 3 straight weeks. So next competition will be the Canisius Alumni Classic, which is here in Buffalo at Delaware Park on October 14th. Just take me through what goes into the team's training here when you have a week with no competition.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have a week off, to be honest, and I think the kids are too. The tough part when you're racing every weekend is it's tough to do any true quality sessions because you're always worried about the kids being too tired to race on Saturday. So our schedule for the past couple of weeks has just been one workout per week on Wednesday, and it's generally been a pretty light session, and then we use the race day as our true quality day. So we'll finally be able to get back in the routine of doing 2 good workouts per week. You know, we were out at Chestnut Ridge this past week, got a really nice long run in. We'll be able to do that again this weekend, and really just give a 3-week training block leading up to conference, because we look at that Canisius meet as kind of a chance to just get out there and spin the legs a little bit the week before the conference meet, but we don't put too much stock in any results there. So we're looking at as a 3-week block to get ready for the conference meet, and then we'll have a 2-week training block after that to get ready for the regional meet.
Yeah, the East Coast Conference Championship meet coming your way on October 21st. That'll be at NYIT in Old Westbury, New York, down there in Long Island. So a chance for your team to prepare over the next coming weeks here with some training and the competition that Canisius will host on the 14th. So the next time we chat will be after that Canisius meet and leading up to the conference meet that week. So we wish you the best of luck with your team's training here over the next couple weeks.
Great, thank you.
And we will have you covered with everything you need at DamonWildcats.com leading up to the Canisius meet next week.